Hello, am I live? I think I'm live. Let's hope I'm live. All right. Hey there, welcome to Live with Heidi. I'm going to check that I am live on Facebook and YouTube. So grab your favorite drink before we get started. I'm getting super laggy on my phone, so hopefully that doesn't mean that I'm laggy everywhere else. I have a different setup tonight. I feel like I'm going to have a different setup all the time. Fun times, fun times. Let's refresh this. It looks like okay. All right, so I'm definitely live on Facebook. And let's see. Looks like I'm live on, yeah. All right, so I'm definitely live. Turn that volume down. Okay. So I am going to escape out of that so I can, oops, not you, this window. Oh, one of these days I will have it set up. Every week something new. What can you do? And I know my eyes are not going to be looking at the camera. I did not set up my normal boxes for my iPad because we are going to be cutting out some patterns tonight. Possibly pinning and cutting out fabric. I have not figured that out yet. We'll see how far we get. So what is up, homies? I'm Heidi. I'm a work-at-home handmade business owner at HeidiMind.com, as well as a homeschool mom of 11-year-old and 13-year-old girls. I go live on Facebook and YouTube on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific. During the live, I share about things going on with my business, homeschooling, and sometimes our personal lives. Be sure to follow on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube to get notifications when I post videos or when I'm live. And feel free to like or hit the thumbs up button as this helps more people just like you are watching on the replay. Go ahead and comment with hashtag replay. Not only does this let me know when people are watching, it lets me know if I need to change up my times. I do apologize about the shaky camera. My cat was just up on my cutting table and she jumped off. And then you can check out the pinned link on Facebook, and it also sends you up for emails to let you know when we're having sales or updates or when new video content is up on YouTube. Okay? I do try to go back and put that on YouTube later. For some reason, with the program that I use to go live, it does not automatically generate that into the chat. And sometimes it's hard for me to put it in there because I have to do a bunch of things. So I've just stopped doing that. Let's see. And okay. I'm gonna swipe. All right. It looks like I'm super laggy on my iPad, and I cannot tell if that is just my iPad or if that is all of my, almost $25. So it is what it is. I mean, I get it. I get that like the world is just more expensive, but I would really hope that when the world is more expensive that we're just like getting what we pay for kind of thing. I don't know. So real quick before we get started with the whole pattern thing, I did get all of my Etsy Halloween orders out. I'm not going to sell Halloween on Etsy anymore. I'm just going to say that. I had a little mental breakdown a little while ago. I almost did not go live. I do a lot with my Etsy listings. I've been selling on Etsy for over 10 years. I have some top seller listings, my Etsy sales this year. It's one of the least amounts that I've ever made since before I was doing Halloween. I'm grateful for all of the orders that I got because it did obviously help me pay some bills. Financially, it does help. And it was just enough to keep me busy, but not that I was getting super overwhelmed like I normally do. But it was eye-opening how few sales there were. And I think a lot of that had to do with not selling licensed characters in my Etsy shop this year. I do have a company that I use for my marketing, so I can see other shop sales if I plug them into that. One mask I was selling, she was selling like 10, but they were all licensed characters. And Etsy's cracking down. They have a lot of AI that's coming in. I don't want to risk my shop getting shut down for a $10 mask. So, we all have to make our own decisions. For the most part, the customers were amazing this year. I did not have any repeat customers from the previous years that I've sold masks. So that was a first for me, other than like the first year I started selling masks. I obviously didn't have repeat customers, but from the first come back, sometimes more. And this year I did not have a single repeat customer, maybe because I didn't sell masks last year. I don't know. But I take a lot of time to create my listings. I put a lot of information into the listing, and Etsy seems to always want to hide the descriptions that I take all this time to write. I put things in the images to tell people that they need to look for the description. It's like a whole thing. So some of the reviews and emails that I've been getting are a little bit disheartening. I have had a few people that comment that the masks are small for an adult, which makes sense because I wasn't selling adult masks this year. I was only selling children's masks this year, which it said all over the listings. So I don't know, that was a little frustrating because that seems like a basic thing reading. But I sell these particular owl wings. They're very difficult. I don't want to say they're difficult. They're very time consuming to make. They're actually kind of labor intensive. And I love to read something. So that's frustrating for me because with Etsy, I don't have any control over the way that the reviews come in. Not that I believe that I should be able to control the reviews and have only good reviews. I think that honest reviews are important. But when people don't read the description and they don't look at the listing and they just arbitrarily order what they order, it's going to be a problem. And not the customer that contacted me tonight. I don't think they didn't read the order. I think they did read the listing and maybe they just misunderstood it, and that's fine. But they asked me to remake the order in a larger size and overnight it to them at their expense, which I appreciate, because they have an event on Saturday. Now, this particular customer ordered on the last day that I was offering Halloween orders. So that's always a bummer when, I don't know, as a shop owner, knowing that I make each item as they're ordered, for it to come, it's the last one. Now I can't, sell those wings until next year because they want to, they're going to return them. And I do take returns. If they're in unused condition, I'll take the return. It's fine. So yeah, but the customer was really nice, and we came up, I think, with a suitable. And then, of course, right on the heels of that getting figured out, I had another customer that messaged me. They ordered a tail, also on the very last day that I was taking orders, and because the rest of the costume did not come in, they want to return the tail. So I don't know. Halloween's hard when it's on a weekday in the middle of beginning to middle of the week, because most Halloween events, if there's going to be a party or a parade or a neighborhood gathering, it's going to be on the Friday or Saturday before Halloween, not after. So my whole intention of cutting off Halloween orders on the 15th was so that I would have them all ship either last Friday or by this Monday, which I think I had 5 orders that went out on Monday. That was it. That's not a lot. And 3 of them were going to California. So like they were going within a few hours of where I live. So I don't know. It's a thing. So now then it's now the money that I paid bills with that I have to come up with and refund. So I don't know. I that sealed the deal for me. I'm not doing Halloween on Etsy anymore. It's too much for me. I don't have enough control of the shop. There's not enough to explain to people that Etsy is not Amazon. Etsy is not any other. It says handmade, it should be handmade. And many of us don't have the space to keep stock. So we're literally making it the minute it's ordered. So I don't get back the time and materials that I spent to make these things, to send them out on time. And then I get into a situation like today where I really started to get disheartened because I spent so much time and energy working on other people's costumes that I have not started my own kids' costumes yet. Which some might say that's a me problem. Sure, fine, it's a me problem. But the solution is I'm not going to sell Halloween on Etsy anymore. So now that's a me solution. It is what it is. So in an effort to keep up with my live tonight, because I did not go live last week because I was busy trying to finish all those orders, we're going to multitask tonight, and I'm going to show you how I cut out pattern pieces. My kids decided they wanted to be characters from an online video game. My oldest just popped into view. Normally I have the door shut where I'm at, and I didn't shut it tonight because she was going to come in and work. That camera is on, so just so you know.
Can you see me?
I can't right now because that's not the camera that I'm using. I'm using this camera. Okay. But I'll tell you when I swap and I'll show you.
Okay.
Sorry. So, careful, you're shaking my camera, girlfriend. Don't shake the table, dude. So, they want to be characters from a video game, which means that I get to create their costumes by taking patterns from companies and kind of merging them together and coming up with a solution. So today I did work on part of the first costume. So I got like a top done. Mostly I need to do some alterations and add some hooks and eyes, but for the most part, that one is done. We are trying to use different things that we have. So there's like an undershirt, and my oldest found a shirt that we can Frankenstein. So we're taking it apart and putting it back together the way that it needs to look. I like PDF patterns. I've done a couple of videos about them, I think, for my channel. I know that I've recorded quite a bit of content. I don't know that all of it's made its way to the channel yet. But I know I did a video where I talk about PDF patterns. I do prefer them because I can reprint them, because traditional tissue paper patterns are very difficult to save for a long time. Not that I haven't done it, they're just not preferable. And with printed patterns, I can just, if something gets ruined or if I need to cut a different size or whatever, I can just reprint it. Eventually, I want to get a pattern projector. They're a little expensive because they're fairly new, but I just think that those look really cool. And I spend so much time pinning patterns down that I would love to just have a pattern projector. So that's goals right there. But essentially what you do is, it's not close enough. I'm not going to go reach for it. You print out standard printer pages, and then you have to tape them together. So my oldest has spent quite a few hours taping pattern pieces together. Something that I don't love is that after a while, the pattern pieces don't seem to match up with the markings. So we'll have to figure that out because she ran into the same problem. I ran into it. Don't touch the table, okay, because it shakes. I ran into it with a pattern for myself a while ago, although with that pattern, I also printed it incorrectly. So I thought maybe that was what the major problem was, but she's also having that problem and this printed perfectly. So, I don't know, maybe it didn't print perfectly. Maybe the pages got a little sideways. I don't know, but let's go ahead. I'm going to switch the cameras. I'm going to start cutting out the pieces that she has taped together and we'll see how long that lasts. And possibly I will start cutting out some, I'll pin and cut some fabric pieces, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. When I first started the live, I was not hot. It's been kind of a cool day today, so I had a sweatshirt on. But now it's starting to kind of warm up for me, so I may decide that I want to go change, and then I'm going to cut the live off because I'm not going to wait for you guys. I'm not going to make you wait for me to go change because that's not fair. So, all right, let's go ahead. I got to move a couple of things. Okay, so we're going to switch the camera view. All right, so go ahead and hold that for me. Don't touch it though, because that's the camera view that we're dealing with. Okay. So let's do this. See? Whoops, daisies.
Nice washer view. Hold the dryer a bit.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. So why don't you sit here and you can check if there's any comments and I'll start cutting because you're probably not going to be able to tape much down.
Yeah.
What? Okay. I should have moved this chair because it's a little in my way.
Subscribe and 60% off your first order. Yeah, guys.
I don't need that. So I have...
Do you know who the one viewer is?
No, it doesn't show me.
Oh.
It might be Miss Sarah. Sometimes the comments don't pop up. She can't see you.
She can hear me.
Yes, if it's Miss Sarah, she can hear.
Can you hear me?
All right. Damn. Seriously.
No.
Okay, so this is actually super, super huge.
There's like 60 pages.
There is like 60 pages, she says.
That's what I said.
That's what you said. All right. I don't want to cut. These are more of the pages here. So it just gives you kind of a blueprint. Can you see that even? It gives you kind of a blueprint of how the pages are supposed to go. There's a lag, super lag. And then these are the actual pages and they are numbered. So this is a different part of the pattern. We're going to put that there. Okay. So I'm going to cut this. And essentially what I do is I will go through and I will rough cut the pattern pieces to begin with. She tapes these much better than I would. Okay. Now this cutting table is actually white. Underneath the cutting board, there's a white cutting table. I purchased this at Joann Fabrics years and years and years ago. I don't actually, well, I wouldn't recommend this one per se. I don't know if they've upgraded it at all since I purchased it, but the wheels broke off. I don't know, maybe within the first year of owning it. It's a folding table, so the sides fold down and then it's just a narrow piece in the center, but I like the size of it. I like that it's large and it's pretty tall. But the legs don't go straight out. They go at an angle, so I can't really put anything under the desk. It's very inconvenient. So I will be replacing it as quickly as I physically can. Someone in one of my embroidery groups got kitchen islands from IKEA, and those are very much out of my budget. They're very expensive, but they have some, I think they're pronounced Kallax units, and you can get like a little stand for underneath them, so it comes up nice and tall, and then it's like basically like cubbies underneath it, so I could store things like my vinyl and maybe my felt. So I'm gonna get 2 of those and then like secure them together so they're one big table, and then I'll put this cutting mat down. I bought this cutting mat years ago. I want to say my kids were, when did you guys wear the blue Christmas dresses? How old were you? Like 5 and, not 5 and 3, maybe 4 and 6?
Yeah, maybe 4 and 6.
They might have, yeah.
I don't remember.
Do some math for me. So about 7 years ago. So I bought this about 7 years ago. And it's just a, what do they call them? Self-healing cutting mat. Like I could use a rolling cutter. I forget what they're called. Rotary cutter. There we go. I can never find one that works the way I want it to, but that's a whole nother story. Trying not to get paper cuts as I do this.
I'm surprised I didn't get a paper cut.
Yeah. And then these scissors I like because they're spring loaded. Fiskars used to make really, really good ones. They lasted me a very long time, like 10, 15 years potentially, maybe even longer than that. But then one of them lost a spring, and you can't just replace the spring, you have to replace the whole set of scissors. And their new updated scissors, in my opinion, are not the same. I do not love them. I have a pair somewhere, and I won't buy them anymore because I don't like them. They don't cut very well. So these are just generics. These are 3 different pair of generics. 3 different pair of generics.
Yeah,
Pear. Well, they're green like a pear.
Yeah, they're shaped like a pear. Do they taste like pear?
I have never licked my scissors. Thank you very much.
Can I?
I'd prefer no.
I'm looking for the blue Christmas dresses.
Oh.
Just give me a minute.
Okay. Here's a minute. So, yeah. So basically what I do is rough cutting is just cutting them out, not directly on the cutting lines, just around it, to get rid of as much extra paper as possible. 7.
You said 7 years ago, but then you said like 4.
Oh, but then I corrected myself.
I don't know.
I corrected myself.
I'm arguing with her on her live. This is supposed to be her good, cool moment, and I'm ruining it.
This is my cool moment?
Yes, this
Oh,
is your cool
no.
hashtag mom moment.
That is horrible. If this is my cool moment, my life is a shamble. Here's your origami paper that you left.
Oh, yeah, I need to fold something for the kind viewers.
The one persons. The one viewer. Sometimes family watches.
Oh god, which ones?
I don't know. I see them pop in sometimes on Facebook and then they pop out real quick.
Oh, well, no one on Facebook is looking at it.
Yeah. I think part of it is like I get like a lag more on these, so I'm going to leave those to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am probably only going to cut this out and then I might stop the live because I'm going to have to go change into a t-shirt.
I mean, I could sit here with the camera.
No, we're not going to make them just watch me cut patterns. It's silly. But I will be posting some updates to my social media. Generally, I post most updates to Instagram, which also goes. If you do not already follow me on Facebook and or Instagram, do feel free to go and check out those socials.
Link in desk. Click the subscribe button. Smash the like.
Smash the like.
Link ink.
The link, there is a link in my
Desk.
What is desk?
Ooh, description.
Oh.
That's what the,
Is that the newfangled slang?
What?
Exactly.
Oh. Link in bio, guys.
Link in bio, link in bio. So, fun story. My daughter keeps calling me a millennial today.
Yeah, because she acts like...
Actually, all week you've been calling me a millennial.
Yes, because you like Harry Potter, you like Disney, you like, coffee and reading.
And Star Wars.
Yeah, and Star Wars.
That was one of the things you said earlier.
But you said that was a Gen X thing.
All of those things are Gen X, dude.
And millennial, actually.
Well, only because they started with Gen X.
Anyway,
no, that's the subject. That is the conversation we are having. They started with Gen X.
Yeah, anyway, she's saying she's like the beyond millennial, like ultimate millennial. I can't tell if that's like an insult to herself or like because like we like it every.
I'm what millennials aspire to be.
Yeah, you're the final boss.
Yes.
That's not a good thing.
Why? I like being the boss.
You're even more intense and scary.
Right on.
Not in a good way. I feel bad for our one viewer.
Why? They're probably cracking up. We're so funny.
No. They're gonna leave. Watch it.
I know. It's gonna go to 0. The one viewer might be you, actually.
No, I'm not looking.
But,
oh, you're so. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Hey.
Hey.
Everybody's got to start somewhere. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Start somewhere. Why would it show up as a viewer when you're on your own account? Like,
because I have to watch it on YouTube in order to see any comments. So I have to watch the live. Because that's the program that I use doesn't let me watch it in a back end.
That's dumb.
Yes, it is. Milli Vanilli what?
No. Manelli. Oh.
Dude. What are you saying?
I'm trying to say millennial.
Yeah, that's not how you say millennial, dude.
Yeah, I think I realized that, actually.
Okay. So, real quick, just to show y'all a little bit of what we are doing. Yeehaw. God. When the kids were younger, I used to try to let them help me with social media a little bit. And
Did you think that would go well?
I had them do some like unboxings or some fabric hauls.
Oh my god, I watched some of those on your Instagram. They were so bad. I was like, hey guys! Hi girl bosses and the peoples.
Right, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
You would just sit there like, yeah.
Yeah, boss. Okay, I moved the light. Ugh. Stay, light. It's not gonna stay. It's gonna lean forward. Just stay.
It's gonna start walking.
Why don't you stay?
I would walk out too.
So then what we do is we take this fabric here, which this is our costume fabric that we are actually using. Told you it was gonna fall. This light is bunk.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That was amazing.
Wasn't it though?
Yes, it shows in the light.
I know, of course it's gonna
That's
show
so
in the light.
funny. Well, yeah, of course.
So just leave it alone. I'm gonna leave
Just
it
leave
up
it alone.
here. Alright, dude. This is why I don't tell you guys to come down here when I'm live. Alright. So essentially, what I do next is I lay out my fabric, and I do like having this cutting mat here because that way it doesn't scratch up my table. But I take all of my pattern pieces and I lay them out, and I do pin them down. Some of the sewing groups that I'm in, they use pattern weights. Show me pattern weights back here. So these are pattern weights here. I don't know, they weigh a few ounces, I guess. And I suppose they're convenient. I don't know. They're never convenient for me. Pattern pieces always move. My rotary cutters never feel like they're cutting the fabric because they don't. Even if it's a brand new rotary cutter. The patterns shift, the fabric shifts. I don't love it. Some people have said to use cans, like cans of vegetables. I tried doing that today. Same old, same old. The fabric shifts, the pattern shifts. It's not convenient for cutting, whatever. So unfortunately for me, I do still pin my patterns down and then cut them out. Now, when I go to cut out things like interfacing, I won't pin that because usually the interfacing is a little bit kind of, I don't want to call it sticky, but usually when you have fabric, even though this is shiny on this side, it's matte on the back side, and on the interfacing that I'm using, it almost like kind of stays, well, it stays put, it almost sticks. So for that, I just let it go and cut it out from there. But yeah, I'm going to keep this short tonight because I will be up for quite a few hours still, because I would like to get this pattern cut out that you just saw me cutting the pieces and potentially pinned together, and maybe even some of it sewn together, so that I can have a head start for tomorrow, because I really need to get 2 costumes done tomorrow. Plus, if this customer that wants a different size wings purchases, then I will need to make 2 more sets of owl wings. Fun stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. I'm not even going to change my camera setting. I am just going to tell you, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please go ahead and comment with #live or #replay, and feel free to subscribe, follow, like, thumbs up, all the good things. And I will see you next week. Peace out.